In an unexpected turn of events, I find myself compelled to craft a narrative on an anime that has not only captivated my attention, but also spurred contemplations on the very essence of our technological progress. Welcome, I'm Kyle, and today I have something a little bit different. I watched a series the other day named Pluto, and I decided why not make a video on it. So today for you, I unravel the profound layers of Pluto, an anime that transcends the boundaries of conventional storytelling. The journey begins with my initial disbelief that led me to create this very video. Pluto, an anime that resonates with those who have delved into the realm of future implications of robotics, beckons introspection on a level that I hadn't anticipated. This cyberpunk odyssey into the future dominated by robots and artificial intelligence has not only posed questions about what constitutes as life or sentience, but also unfurled a tapestry of contemplation at the precipice of our very own technological prowess. Exploring realms of AI includes ChatGPT and Google's own advanced chatbot, among other cutting-edge innovations. With all that said, I guess we can start our look on what the story has to offer, and maybe, just maybe, I'll get you to indulge a little bit and binge watch this bad boy. There won't be any spoilers in this beyond the first episode, so be warned about that. Without further ado, let's begin. The inaugural episode unfolds with an arresting image, a forest engulfed in flames, hinting at a catastrophic event. Amidst the chaos, we encounter the remnants of a robot's head, adorned with twigs resembling devilish horns. You might not be aware of this, but I've studied a lot of Greek, Roman, and Celtic mythologies, among others due to my own curiosity, and thus this very image invokes thoughts of an ancient deity, maybe one of death or the underworld. And as my journey continues into this intriguing world, I wasn't prepared of how right I would be with that first sentiment. The journey, guided by the concept of idol for worship, evolves as we traverse further into the narrative, unraveling the nuances to the world where distinctions between humanity and machinery have been blurred. Enter Geist. Geist? Gizik? Enter Gizik, a puzzling character whose identity leaves room for interpretation. Immediately, I start to notice a couple things. Now, I'm no anime expert, but I have watched my fair share of anime, and the animation style reminds me a lot of Justice League, Cyberpunk, or even Invincible. Though I haven't watched Invincible yet. And yeah, I know it's good, but I'm just not ready yet, okay? But that's just at a first glance. As I continue to watch and think about it, a journey down memory lane transports me to the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance era, where the Mega Man series played a significant role in my formidable years. The aesthetic semblance of Pluto resonates with Mega Man, and it's at this point that I went down the rabbit hole and started to do some research, and I realized a chain of influence emerges as Mega Man's origins trace back to Astro Boy, which is a series that forms the fundamental inspiration for Pluto, a Japanese masterpiece by Naoki Urasawa. Urasawa, renowned for his work on Monster, draws from Osamu Tezuka's Astro Boy, weaving a murder mystery narrative that has garnered accolades and sold over 8.5 million copies. The intricate threads connecting Pluto to its predecessor Astro Boy unveil the profound influence the manga maestro has had on the world of anime. Naoki Urasawa's reference for Osamu's creation is palpable, creating a symbolic relationship that has shaped the very essence of Pluto itself. Now, getting back into the thick of things, the spotlight shifts to the mysterious Gezicht, a robot detective who awakens from a nightmare, which introduces a cascade of questions. Firstly, is he a mere robot or a cyborg? Or has he transcended to a state capable of dreams? This uncertainty extends to his wife, whose subtle idiosyncrasies challenges our perception of what constitutes as humanity versus machinery. And fuck, I love it. I need this shit fed into my veins. Sorry, I kind of lost my cool there for a moment, but let's get back on track. Pluto adeptly subverts those expectations, blurring the line between the uncanny and the familiar, prompting a narrative exploring the very essence of identity. As Gezicht is thrust into an investigation surrounding the death of a proponent of robot law, parallels with a beloved peace robot's demise surface. He's the one we actually saw in the beginning. Antennae protruding from their heads serves as a grim commonality, leading the narrative down a path reminiscent of the movie I, Robot. If you haven't watched it, then I'll give you a quick rundown. In the future, Will Smith fights robots, and these robots are there to try to murder the world. Well, not in so much words, but you gotta go watch the movie, you lazy fuck. In both worlds, every robot is equipped with inhibitors preventing them from harming humans, raising questions about the feasibility of a robot committing murder. The unfolding mystery is akin to a futuristic whodunit, which challenges preconceived notions about the capabilities and limitations of AI. A little later in the story, it turns out that a robot that was killed got a snapshot of the villain leaping from a building. Well, it's his wife that confirms it, not the robot, because he's dead. This brings into question if this is some kind of animal, but what kind of organic creature could kill a war machine and dismantle it whilst at the same time scorching a part of the forest, and then murder a human without leaving any traces? A real head scratcher, you could say. A poignant scene emerges as Gesicht engages in conversation with a murderous robot. This would be an interesting exploration into the societal implications of a sentient killing machine. The eerie calmness exuded by the robot challenges our collective morality. The decision to study such a being takes center stage instead of dismantling or destroying it. The treatment of this entity as a mere thing, reduced to fragments of its former self, sparks reflection on the ethical dilemma surrounding its very existence. This is of human creation, so its crimes should be, by all means, the fault of its creator, should it not? But if we look at it by the standards of the world, how can we genuinely look at a parent and blame them for the actions of their child when they've done their best to steer that child in the right direction? It's a case where some apples are just bad. But what if it's a machine? Machines are incapable of illogical thought as to what humans define them as. So a machine with AI who decides to kill humans, is that machine really wrong? Humans are the creators of this machine. Thus, some responsibility to foresee or curb its nature falls upon us. But then again, we can look at many serial killers of the world who's had good lives, mind you, not the very best, and still they grew up to kill, despite these good lives. Through their conversation, the revelation that these killings are intricately tied to Pluto, the god of the underworld, adds a layer of complexity. Each victim, whether robot or human, holds societal significance. The beloved robot and the advocate for robot law forming a narrative mosaic that begins to take shape. This bombshell is just like I suspected. These killings aren't just random. Each of these robots and humans seems to have held some importance in society, but we don't get to see where the story leads to in such an early episode. But this is what I would define as a strong first part, and it really captivated my attention. And I don't say that lightly. In the second act, we delve deeper into the narrative, navigating the intricacies within the mind of a robot named North No. 2, a killing machine designed to exterminate its own kind. Its unexpected desire to pivot from a deadly instrument to a piano virtuoso introduces the theme of transformation. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we encounter Hans Zimmer, a master pianist harboring childhood trauma and a penchant for discord. The dichotomy between North No. 2 and Zimmer are seemingly opposites of the same coin. Zimmer's unpleasant demeanor is rooted in a life of abandonment. This unveils the story of his resilience and dedication to music. The narrative explores the inherent struggle against their programmed nature, questioning the very essence of their existence. Now, I want to delve into Zimmer's character for a little bit here. This incredibly unpleasant man isn't one to be mean without reason. He's essentially lived a life of abandonment at the hands of his own mother, who left him to die in some random boarding school. Luckily for him, he was saved by a wealthy man, in which case he dedicated his whole being to music, giving life, love, wanting, and a sense of purpose to all those who truly enjoyed his melodious constructs. Like a true creator, he made his name in the world, creating everything he had with his own two hands. But at the same time, due to this childhood trauma, he's plagued by a constant nightmare perpetuating his very soul. One of these prominent nightmares is of him as a child trying to find his absent mother. Oh yeah, before I continue, I was watching this in English. That's dubbed for all you less cultured Homo sapiens. North No. 2 is played by the English voice actor for Endeavor, Patrick Sees, who's done more than 600 characters, including some of your favorites like Dr. Sakota from Heavenly Delusion and Thorkel from Vinland Saga. Looking that up, I also realized that the voice actor for All Might is here, Christopher Sabat, who's also played two characters in this, Marshall and Armstrong. So go figure, it seems like the entire cast of My Hero Academia is here. And yes, I know that Zimmer's name is Paul Duncan, but it's more fun to call him Zimmer, so let's just go with that for a moment. Anyways, North No. 2's relentless pursuit of musical proficiency becomes a symbol of defiance against its original purpose. Zimmer, an unwitting member, embodies the struggle against the encroachment of AI into the realms of once exclusive to humanity, the creation of music itself. AI creates symphony and art that can take a human an entire lifetime to perfect, and it wouldn't even be a challenge. So this frail old man bullies this killing machine to no end, to the point where North Number 2 seems to have given up and left. In my observation, it seems that Zimmer harbored a genuine sense of longing for the departed robot, a sentiment possibly rooted in a conviction that had been correct in his assessment of the automation. However, upon the robot's return, a revelation unfolded. The robot's actions were driven by a quest for insight into Zimmer's past. As the layers of his history were unveiled, a stark contrast emerges from the bitter memories he held. Contrary to the assumed narrative, his mother was far from a heartless figure. She toiled tirelessly to provide her son with the best education. A poignant picture is painted by the recollection of shared sunsets, and a tender hum tune revealed a nurturing side that had long eluded the old man's memory. This overlooked memory, echoing through their shared moments, left an indelible mark on his soul. This revelation shattered the very foundation of his belief that he had been abandoned. The haunting nightmare of his mother's departure was, in fact, a manifestation of his mind's attempt to piece together fragmented memories. Now liberated from the weight of misconceptions, the old man finds solace. His painful journey unfolded as he embraced the truth, allowing him to move forward with a newfound sense of peace. This is where he would relent and allow the robot to learn music, and I would find it so hilarious that North Number 2 had to learn music from scratch. And over time, he got really good at it. But in an unexpected turn, North Number 2's pursuit of musical excellence is abruptly halted as he confronts the entity responsible for prior murders. The climax leaves me torn between sympathy for the robot's newfound aspirations and the harsh reality of its own existence. He couldn't truly escape what he actually is. But at the same time, I'm sure he's glad that he put his life on the line for what he might call a greater purpose. I think in the end he became that killer again to protect what he found precious, the music he fought so hard to learn, and the old mentor he fondly looks up to. Goodbye, North Number 2. Pluto, particularly its initial episodes, sparks a multitude of emotions and thoughts, invoking contemplation on the trajectory of sentient AI. The narrative raised questions about the direction our world is headed to and the timeline for AI reaching a stage comparable to human sentience. The anime challenges us to ponder whether robots can be considered as entities on their own right, parallel to humans. The author's intent, whether intentional or serendipitous, is to elicit deep introspection. Pluto's impact, essentially in its initial episodes, promises a compelling journey ahead. As I eagerly anticipate delving deeper into the narrative, this video serves as a preliminary exploration of my thoughts, carefully avoiding spoilers to preserve the essence of the viewing experience. As such, within this video, I've only covered episode 1 so far. The rest is up to you to watch. While this analysis may feel incomplete, it lays the groundwork for future discussion as I progress through the series. If you resonated with this deep dive into Pluto, I invite you to engage in the conversation. Like, share with a friend, and share your reflections on Pluto in the comments below. I've been your host Kyle. Peace out and stay safe in the vast expanse of this digital cosmos.